for your wife and everything, your sponsor. Basically sponsorship.
Yeah. We used to call it a company tour.
Okay, yeah. Sponsorship, my family was there, my kids were born there, so that automatically extended my tour out for 1 year. And they paid for bringing my family and everything back to the States, and everything was paid for. Stayed there for 3 years, yes.
And then came back home?
Then came back home and went to Fort Hood, Texas.
Okay.
Went to a mechanized unit.
Now, what'd you do there?
And at that time, I was a squad leader, and we drove around in armored personnel carriers, and again, practiced being soldiers.
Still a grunt at this time?
Still a grunt.
Still infantry?
Still infantry.
All right. Never changed your MOS your whole 20 years in?
Actually, after 8 years I did, just almost 9 years. My first 8.5 years I was in was infantry, and my last 11.5 so I was on recruiting duty.
11 years on recruiting duty?
Yes, yes.
Wow, how many recruiting stations did you wind up? 11 years, boy. You were making that your that was your secondary job. Jeez.
Well, it started off with the recruiting tour was going to be 2 years. But because of the budget restraints and moving soldiers around and everything, they changed it and they doubled it to 4 years. So I went from recruiter to station commander. I was 18 months on the recruiting duty, or recruiter, and then I became a station commander. As a station commander, I ran a medium-sized recruiting station, meaning I had 5 regular Army recruiters under me and 2 reserve recruiters that worked for me. And one night, the sergeant major walked into me because I'd told him that I'd never convert to be a full-time recruiter. I wanted to go back to infantry school. Really? And he says, well, Sergeant Arts, he says, just suppose. He says, just suppose you could have anything you want. What would it take to get you to convert to be a recruiter full-time? And I said, Sergeant Major, you know I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to be a grunt. He says, yeah, but Sergeant Arts, just suppose. I says, all right, Sergeant Major. I says, you put a set of orders on my desk that send me to guidance counselor school, and you send me to MEP so I can be a guidance counselor, and I'll convert. He says, all right, Sergeant Arts. He stood up. He walked out the door, and this was just a couple nights before Christmas. And day after Christmas or so, there's a set of orders on my desk.
Gave you what you wanted. So one thing about Sergeant Majors.
Yep.
That was one thing I was told when I was in boot camp. There's 2 people that wear stars, Sergeant Majors and Generals. You don't want to tick either one of them off.
There you go.
That's the honest to God truth. They will make things happen.
So January, I was sent to Fort Benjamin, Harrison, Indiana for guidance counselor school.
Well, what is that exactly, guidance counselor school? What does that entail?
Well, you have recruiters, and recruiters go out and talk to the individuals one-on-one, and you encourage the young individual to join the Army. There's some people that's going to join, there's some people that's not.
Okay.
And you have to qualify them, make sure they're qualified. And then there's a station commander who's over top of the recruiters, and the recruiter station commander will interview the applicant and ensure that the recruiter's doing everything right, and double checking to make sure that the applicant is qualified.
Because nobody that's ever been in the military or a recruiter realizes that it's a very stressful job being a recruiter.
It is. It is.
You have, they don't talk about it, but you have to make a lot of deadlines. You have to bring in how many? Your quota.
You have a quota. How many people that you have to bring in. It might be a male or it might be female. But you're given a big enough area to work that you just have to go through and find the person that you want, or the person that is eligible. Once you find the person that's eligible and wants to join, then you start the process of getting them in. Now, the recruiter finds them, the station commander verifies that they're eligible, and then they go to MEPS. At MEPS, there's the guidance counselor. The guidance counselor is going to verify all the paperwork that the recruiter and the station commander did. He's going to talk to the individual, find out what the individual is interested in, and then he's going to put all this information into the computer. Now, somewhere along the line, that individual has to take a test. ASVAB. And the ASVAB determines what job areas or skills the individual may be eligible for or qualify for. If you don't have high enough mechanical skills, you can't be a mechanic. If you are colorblind, then you can't be an infantry soldier. So there's a qualification for everything. And everything's put in the computer, and then the computer will print out a job list of what they're eligible for. And then as a guidance counselor, it's your job or my job to talk to the individual, the applicant, and find out which one of these jobs that they're interested in and which job that they'd be willing to go in.
Okay, we'll be right back very curious about this. We'll be right back. We're going to take a short break. Thank you.